Now, we're going to change directions for just a second from the Idaho case. It's kind of went cold a little bit, right? Don't get me wrong, we're still going to do the Idaho case, but we need to present to you guys this story right here. This beautiful 11-year-old girl, her name is Madalina Cojocari. She comes from Cornelius, North Carolina. Now, let me tell you what happened to her as we await other news with the Idaho case and things like this, because this case is pretty important as well. It's an 11-year-old girl from Cornelius. She was last seen on November 23rd. And her parents, who are now arrested, did not report her missing till December 15th. Sacks of shit, right? Guys, it feels good to be back. I'm thejbgunner. This is Crime Time with thejbgunner. Let's go ahead and jump right into this and put you guys up on this story if you don't already know about it. We need more attention on this one. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
Oh, it feels good to be back with you guys. After a couple days off, I was playing in the mud. I'm singing that song. You know. Stop it, JB. Talk about the news. Shut the fuck up. I can talk about what I want. All right. Before we get into this story, I do want to say first and foremost, thank you to all of you that support this channel, any of my other channels. Guys, the truth of this is, whether it's PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Patreon, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do without you guys, the Gun Squad. So thank you so much. Stop texting me. Oh, anyway. Lady, excuse me, I forgot I was on True Crime Channel. Beautiful woman, stop texting me. Anyways, to you guys that do support the channel, thank you guys so much. To you guys that also find value in my content, feel free to hit the links down below. While you're down there, check out some of my other channels. But if you guys are like snowflakey, stay away from the political one because it might scare you a little bit. You know how it goes. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into this story because this is a story I think all of us need to not necessarily 100% focus our attention to, because I think other cases still need to be looked at, solved. No doubt about that. But this case is something I think we need to bring to your attention if you do not already know about this case. Now, guys, I came across this case oddly, probably later than some, but I also got to looking around and I noticed nobody else is fucking talking about this, right? I don't see anybody truly talking about this case. Mother and stepfather of missing 11-year-old girl took 22 days to report her disappearance, as the couple were arrested and FBI dig up the backyard at the family home. Madalina Cojocari, age 11, was last seen on November 23rd, but her parents allegedly waited until Thursday, December 14th, to tell her that her school that she was missing. Now, I'm just going to call this like it is. When we're talking about somebody the age of 11, if it was like a 15 or 16-year-old girl, I'd say like, all right, she ran away. But the age of 11, a little bit different, right? And I'm not saying 11-year-olds can't run away or anything like this, because we just saw the story with the UPS driver, the FedEx driver, where the young girl got in an argument with her mom, stormed out the house, ended up hit by a FedEx truck, and the FedEx truck killed her and dumped her in a damn ditch. You see what I'm saying? So it can happen, but in cases like this, immediately, when a parent isn't going to report a missing, you have to immediately point the finger at the parents. And I think the police know that. I think you guys know that. And I think overall, that's why the parents have been arrested, at least for a failure to report the crime or report the missing kid. It's neglect of a dependent. Let's just call it that. So Mother Diana Cojocari and stepfather Christopher Palmitter, age 60. Damn. Palmitter is 60 and Cojocari is 37. Look at him getting some young stuff. Well, anyway, they were arrested on Saturday after neither reported the disappearance to the police. They informed Madalina's school resource officer she was missing almost a month after she last appeared in class on the day before Thanksgiving. So she went on Thanksgiving break and then was never seen again. And the parents didn't call the fucking police until December. That's crazy. Right off the jump, that has to make them guilty as shit, right? Both parents have since been charged with failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Police were called the FBI, and cops were seen digging up the backyard at the family's home in Cornelius. I wonder what made them start digging up there. It's near Charlotte, North Carolina. In fact, let me go ahead and just take you to the story, let you guys see it a little bit, learn a little bit more out than what I'm reading you. Here you go.
Well, tonight the search continues for 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari of Cornelius. She's been missing for weeks now. Today, Cornelius police arrested Cojocari's stepfather and mother. They say the two failed to report her disappearance to law enforcement. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joining us in studio, breaking down what we know so far and what experts have to say.
The FBI is involved in this investigation now. We spoke to a former agent who says the timeline of events is the most perplexing thing about this case. Now, first, she was reported missing on December 15th, but police say she was last seen on November 23rd right here. And normally, when a child is missing from school for even a day, a note is emailed home. So the question tonight, did the parents know she was missing before reporting it?
Are you fucking stupid? I mean, I get it. I understand when you're doing news, you have to be, unbiased and go with just strict 100% facts. That's why I love being a commentary. I can say what the fuck I want. The timeline is mysterious. No, the fuck it ain't. The little girl's been missing a month. The timeline isn't mysterious at all. She's fucking dead. Who killed her? The people that didn't report it. It's not that hard to understand. We're not now looking for a missing child. We're looking for remains. We're looking for a dead kid. We're looking for evidence to charge the murders, which are going to be the parents. There's no way in fuck it's not. And there's just no way in fuck it's not. Now, I get it. They can't charge the parents with murder because you got to have this thing called evidence for that. Right now, all they got is suspicion due to the fact they failed to report the missing kid. I mean, I guess it is possible this kid ran away. But let's be honest here, 11? Even if she did run away, she's probably dead anyway. Let's just and to be perfectly honest, well, let's just get back to the story. I don't know, but let's just go.
It's a nice neighborhood. I never would have thought that.
People would describe this
Why do
Cornelius
they always
neighborhood
say
as
that?
a quiet one until recently.
Why do people always say that? Man, that was such a nice neighbor. This is such a nice neighborhood. I would have never thought that would happen here. Man, you don't know that these people in these bad neighborhoods, the Tyrones and shit down in Atlanta, they're going to the suburbs everywhere to rob them. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, in general, that's where some of the most hideous crimes happen, is in neighborhoods you don't think they're going to happen. Why is that the case? Because no one reports the crimes in the slums because nobody gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck? I'm from 55th and Loomis in Chicago, Illinois originally. I don't give a fuck about who's killing who out there. I already know what kind of activity goes on out there. That shit should never be in the news. But why? Because they choose that lifestyle. It's not news. The gangs on 55th and Loomis shooting at each other. Nothing news about it. They're scumbags. They're killing each other. Fuck it. Let it go. Let them do it. It's not news at all. Usually, the events that make news are when they happen in these places. Majority of the serious shit happens in places that you, quote unquote, wouldn't expect. That's why in every fucking story you hear the same thing. Oh, yeah, I didn't think that would ever happen in this neighborhood. Man, I live in a good neighborhood, and I got so much security and deadbolts and bars on the door, because I don't care. You're going to have to bring an army to kill me. It's going to have to be, you see what I'm saying? You don't know when this kind of shit is going to happen. And to be perfectly honest, most people that are criminals or do something fucked up, even if they're from the slums, they're going to go to, like, suburbia to do it. I'm just going to be honest. Especially if we're talking about theft or rape or anything like that. Who the fuck wants to rape a ghetto bitch? I know I sure the fuck don't. All right, that came out wrong. I don't want to rape any bitch, but I don't want to rape a roll the fucking footage. Let's get back. That didn't come out right at all. Well, looks like the feds are knocking on my door.
Yesterday there was all the commotion we had. There must have been 40 people out there.
Friday night, police searching for 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari and investigating her home for evidence. Early Saturday morning, Cornelius police arresting Christopher Palmer, her stepfather, for failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement.
He has that Jeffrey Epstein look about him. You know what I mean? He has that look, He has the Joe Biden, I'm gonna sniff your kid look. Let's just call it what it is. Roll it.
Just hours later at 10:15 a.m., her mother, Madalina Cojocari, also...
And she has that look as if she'll do anything for dick. So if the dude wants to Joe Biden the kid, she's like, yeah, go ahead. Because you can tell by looking at her. As long as someone's probably fucking this woman, she's a happy camper. Yeah, go ahead, do what you want with the kid. These are just gut feelings right off the jump. I'm just being honest.
Taken into custody.
It's very concerning that something like this could happen, that it was so close to us.
Neighbors puzzled by the news, some telling us the family kept to themselves.
Well, I would assume that they are suspects.
Quentin Williams, former FBI agent and investigator, says the timeline of events isn't adding up. Madalina was last seen on November 23rd, but weeks later was reported missing to the school on December 15th, 22 days later.
You would assume that the district would ask after a few days, because they send notes home, and now in the digital.
To be fair, this is you fucking people's fault. With all the different, what is called, the Wu flu. With all the Wu flu restrictions and shit. Y'all the ones that turned the school system upside down. It used to be that if your kids were missing days regularly, reports with, but now everybody's doing virtual shit like that. Nobody cares. Nobody sees the kids. Half the kids have been taken out of school. All kinds of fuckery, right? The school system is so goofy right now. I'm not surprised at all that she was gone from school for fucking 3 weeks. 4 weeks? No, 5 weeks? 4 weeks? Is that what it was? Before they reported it? Before the school said, before any of that shit happened? I'm not surprised at all. Schools used to be a tight ship. If your ass was late to school, you got that phone call. Remember back before we had cell phones? They just had the little, I come from the rotary days, but at least the damn landline, right? You get that school, it was that automated message. Your child was absent. Your child was late too. You see what I'm saying? It sounded like a damn prison call. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's get back to this.
Digital age, we all get emails when our kids are out of school for one day. Right. So the parents knew immediately that the child was not in school.
Leading him to believe the reason for both arrests on Saturday.
They didn't report it.
We spoke to a dozen neighbors who tell WCNC Charlotte they noticed burning in their backyard at all hours starting on November 27th, including Saturday morning, just hours before her mother was taken into custody.
Boy, you got to be a crazy motherfucker to kill your kid and barbecue the little motherfucker in the backyard. Oh, man. That can't be real. That cannot be real. That is horrendous. See, y'all talk so much shit about Leilani for throwing the baby in the dumpster, and you guys were right. This is a different level of brutality. Got your kid out back on the damn, what's that little thing in Hawaii, the luau, is that what it's called? Got your kid, you luauing with your, is that what it's called? You luauing with your kid? Now that's some fucked up shit. These people was North Carolina's a death penalty state, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Absolutely.
Today, neighbors still left heartbroken by the news.
I hope that, she's run away or something and comes back.
And questions start having answers.
All you can do is hope and pray.
Yeah, no shit.
We reached out to Cornelius Police Department to see what that next step is for the investigation, given it's still ongoing, but they did not return any of our emails or phone calls as well. Now, if you know anything that could lead to an arrest, you're encouraged to call Cornelius Police Department or authorities.
That's nuts. So there was an arrest. The parents were arrested. You see the scumbags. There's the beautiful girl right there. There's this scumbag. A mechanical designer. This is upsetting. This is definitely disturbing. We got some new information though. FBI releases videos of missing North Carolina girl Madalina getting off the school bus and searches a nearby lake, the lake. And it's revealed that her mother waited 22 days before reporting her disappearance. This is rough, right? This is rough. It says the FBI is searching a lake north of Charlotte for the missing 11-year-old. Madalina Cojocari's last independent sighting was on a bus on November 21st. She wasn't reported missing until 22 days after her parents say she last saw her. Oh, that's a beautiful little girl, man. They're checking the lake right now. But there she was. She was seen on the bus. That was her getting off the bus. These two fucking scumbags. Here's the footage of her getting off the bus. So the last time that they saw her, right there. That's fucking horrible, man. That is fucking horrible. Get your ass off here. Family of missing Madalina Cojocari, age 11, lit a fire that burnt for days, torching couch cushions and other items in their backyard after the North Carolina girl vanished. But 2 weeks before they reported her disappearance. Neighbors reported seeing flames and smoke billowing from the backyard of Madalina Cojocari's family home in Cornelius, North Carolina in late November. Now, don't get me wrong, I do want to say this. And for you people that don't know how, look, in fall, especially in the South, people burn leaves. So before we get too crazy and say, yeah, they definitely cooked the kid, it is possible that they were burning leaves. It is fall, right? So let me be at least fair before we jump to certain conclusions, right? The family allegedly lit a fire to torch couch cushions. Okay, it was couch cushions and other items in the days after Madalina 11. Damn, so they burnt up the couch. Why the hell would you burn up the couch? And other items in the day. In the days after Madalina 11 disappeared, but only reported her missing 2 weeks later. Reached by DailyMail.com late Wednesday, Cornelius Fire Chief Gary Barbie confirmed that there was a blaze but refused to discuss the specifics. The young girl was last seen getting on a school bus on November 22nd. So there was other items that was also blazed. The couch is what's being said was being obviously set on fire. He said he couldn't speak on that now because of the investigation. Police later searched the property for evidence, joined by the FBI, scouring the yard for debris. You'd have to be a dumb motherfucker to do this, right? In the fire pit, they took all kinds of samples from the fire pit area. I guess they were trying to figure out if they burned anything of substance there. It's a gross feeling to know something like this happened in our own neighborhood, he added. Very suspicious that the mother did not report the girl missing for 2 weeks. Of course it is. Of course there's an arrest report, of course. So they have arrested the parents, which I think is good. I will obviously look into this, find some more information as we go, but here's a little bit more new details in the Cornelius girl's disappearances. Let's roll it.
This on the search for Madalina Cojocari. And good evening to you. I'm Brian Blakely. Late this afternoon, investigators released new video of the last known footage of the missing 11-year-old. Now, this is the video of Madalina getting off the school bus just before 5 on November 21st. We now know investigators have gone door to door asking for information and have even taken to the waters off Lake Norman as a precaution for any possible sign of Madalina. And tonight we have new details from one of the arrest reports that gives us a lot more information, but also a lot more questions. And Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger is live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse tonight. Derek, what were you able to get answered today?
Well, a lot of those questions came in the arrest report for Madalina's stepfather, Christopher Palmer. Now, specifically, the documents of his arrest were made available today. And one of the questions that we had was why it took so long for them to make the report. Well, that question was actually answered in that report. While the search for Madalina Cojocari continues, court documents are starting to reveal a lot about what happened before and since the 11-year-old girl disappeared. The documents obtained by Queen City News show a significant timeline, one that starts on November 21st. That's the last time Madalina was seen at school. This video is of her getting off the bus that day around 5 o'clock. November 23rd, the last time her mother saw her at home. Court documents say that Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, and stepfather, Christopher Palmer, had an argument that night, and that the next day, Thanksgiving Day, Palmer went to Michigan, as court documents state, to recover some items. Diana went to check on her daughter that day, only to see that she wasn't in her bedroom and not really anywhere else. She didn't take it up with Palmer until he returned on the 26th, and at that point, Madalina hadn't been seen for days. But between...
I told you that was a Jeffrey Epstein motherfucker type. So they got into a fight. He left and went to Michigan for days from North Carolina. Okay, all right. This is gonna be a long ass search. I have a feeling this is gonna be a long ass search.
Between then and weeks later, when Madalina was reported missing, both parents say there were questions among the other about what happened to the girl. No one had an answer and reportedly did nothing for weeks until last week, until officials at Bailey School came in on December 12th doing a truancy check at the home, even though no one came to the door, and finally having a meeting on December 15th, this past Thursday, where Diana Cojocari said Madalina was missing. Since then, there are more questions that many believe only the parents can answer, questions that are not getting an answer. Al Palmer's first appearance on Monday, it became the crux of the state's case.
Oh, this is going to be the dude. This is going to be him. Yeah, I told you when I saw his picture, he looked like one of these motherfuckers. They got in an argument, and he was like, fuck it. I guarantee you. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was some rape type shit going on here.
Both this defendant, Your Honor, as well as the mother have been interviewed and have given no information as to where this child is, where this child might be, where any information, just that they don't know where she is.
And when asked why they held off reporting, Diana Cojocari reportedly said that she didn't want to cause any conflict between her and her husband. And as investigators search, concerns are mounting for a community.
So she said, I didn't want to call because I didn't want me and him to fight about it. They had already been fighting, I guess, wondering who you know how couples are, just blaming each other, and then they didn't want to cause conflict. But what I don't understand is not a single one of them said, like, whoever didn't do it, like, if you know you didn't do it, fuck conflict with the other person, because that means chances are they did it. Like, if I'm with you, our kid goes missing and shit after we argue, and I know I didn't do it. No, fuck you. I'm calling the police. I want to know where the fuck my kid is. Because I'm already suspecting you because I know it wasn't me. Does that make sense? So it could be both of them, honestly.
Just wants to know where Madalina is. Now, both parents, they are charged with failure to file a report on the disappearance of a child. Both have been here specifically at Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Palmer went before a judge yesterday. He got a $200,000 bond. Diana Cojocari, she got a $250,000 bond. In the meantime, that search does continue. Cornelius Police, the FBI, the State Bureau of Investigation, they are urging anyone with any information on her whereabouts, specifically Madalina's whereabouts, any idea where she might be, and any idea of where she has been, to give them a call. We're live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Derek Dellinger, Queen City News.
Shit's going just crazy, honestly. There isn't any more updates to this point. There was a letter from the relative pleading for help. You know, that's not really news. Nothing really going on there. I've looked over, things that are like everything you need to know about the case. All caught up. Like if you go here to the Charlotte Observer, what you know about the missing girl. We pretty much already understand the timeline. We understand how long she's been missing. We understand when she was reported missing. We understand the parents were arrested. It's a class 1 felony for a parent or any other person providing care to someone younger than 16 years old to knowingly or wantingly fail to report the disappearance of a child. I didn't know that was a felony. Like if your kid runs away and you don't report that, imagine that. Think about that. I did not know that at all. If your kid runs away and you don't report them and you don't call the police, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just let them come back home. That's a felony. At least it is in North Carolina. Was not reported sooner. It says the police, the FBI, they're all searching. It includes a search of Lake Cornelius. As part of the normal investigation process, we're expanding our search to include Lake Cornelius as a precautionary measure. They go on to say, search boats, all of that is out there. Guys, we'll keep on with this story. This is a new one, and it's an extremely sad one. So let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, obviously the parents did this. Are we in agreement on that? Question is which one, or was it both? Remember how I said in the beginning of this video that woman, she looks like one of them people that would do anything just so she can get some dick, just so someone will like me. And she proved it by saying she didn't report it because she didn't want to cause conflict with her husband, right? Remember, the husband left all the way to Michigan. My money right now is on the husband. And then the ugly bitch who would do anything for dick, she was willing to conceal the death of her own damn daughter to continue getting, well, dick. That's my position on this. This is my initial gut feeling. What is your gut feelings? Definitely want to know from you guys. Guys, if you guys like what I do here and you find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad today. Support this shit. Look out for my lives. And I will see you next time. I love you all. Gun Squad out.